Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Welcome to Story and Sketch Live with Pamela, your Stampin' Up demonstrator. Pamela here with Passionate About Scrapbooking. And as you can tell, I'm still processing my page, prepping it, I guess would be the correct word. Hope everyone's doing well today. I just thought of something. My AirPods. Dang it, I forgot them. So, hold please. Let's see if this is better. Good morning, good morning. Had to go grab my AirPods. Totally forgot about them. And the audio is so much better when I have those on. So, we're going to have some fun getting messy today for Story and Sketch. This is a really good series where I can create on a little smaller, in a little smaller format, the 8.5 by 11, and just doing one page, I can do a little bit more technique. And so today I will be teaching you how to ink smush or smush ink on your page. Ink smushing. I think that's the term that we came up with during one of Close to My Heart's album retreats. And that's where I learned it. Good morning, Debbie. Figured I would visit for a minute here while I finish prepping my page because this is a little tedious. This is a good time to share kind of what's going on with Stampin' Up and behind the scenes and so forth. I'm actually copying a page that I did, I think it was my second Story and Sketch Live I did back in 21, which is fitting because it was shortly after these pictures were taken from our winter storm back in February of 21 that we talked about on Monday, Snowmageddon in Texas and Fredericksburg. Part of Fredericksburg, all of Fredericksburg got hit by it, but the north part of just north of Fredericksburg got the absolute worst of it, I think, in all the state of Texas. So it was pretty wild and crazy. It went right through Valentine's Day. I remember doing Valentine's Day in the hotel because our pipes had busted, our electricity went out. We hung around here for almost 3 days putting up with it, and it was just like, can't do it anymore. It was exhausting especially for Jeff because he was having to run back and forth to town, and it was getting dangerous. Back and forth to town to get propane and gas for us to run the generator. We did have his dad's generator at the time, I believe. We borrowed it. We have our own now because of that situation. So say hello if you're joining me. Debbie's here. Debbie, Jeff told me last night that Robert was telling him about when he calls you on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. that you're like, I'm watching Pamela. So that was kind of funny. And then he gave me a hard time, Robert did, Sunday morning at church. But you know what? I know, and you know that getting creative is great therapy. I know some people probably don't think that, but if you're watching this, you probably would agree. I don't know if it's less expensive than real therapy, probably not for me, but I at least I have something to show for it. Put on a little praise and worship music and scrapbook. That's what I like to do a lot of the times. All right, I've almost got this part done. This was a little tedious. I got most of it done, or half of it done, before I went live. So I'm going to do a sketch. I can't share like a diagram with you or anything. You'll just see how it comes together. It was a sketch that I learned, I guess, back in 2021. There was a class by Allison Davis that I took for 6x6 pages or paper, using 6x6 scrapbook paper. Now, this paper that I'm using is not 6x6 originally, but I just cut it down into 6x6 and then cut 1/2 inch strips. And we're gonna put this down kind of a off center. I don't know if you want to call it a border, but it's gonna go up and down the page. I think I cut enough. So I'm using that Winter Meadows DSP I used on. So look at that. So blues and greens. I'm going to bring in a little bit of gray because my photos are mainly of snow and ice. So let me see here. I'm just going to share with you the some of the paper. So this is what I did on Monday. The Make It Monday. We're going to do something kind of similar to this in the background, but using ink on here. And then I'm using a different DSP pattern, a couple of them, and going more with the cool tones again. This whole palette is cool tones from this DSP paper. So my focus this week was on this particular pattern paper. I also grabbed in, I think I'm going to try to cut out, I think the die cut will cut out some of this green right here, these pieces. So I'm going to do that, and I might can even cut a few of those berries out. I think there might be, let me see here. Because see, there are stamps in this collection, the Golden Greenery. And let's see, I can. See, I can do these right here. So I'm going to pull those out and just set them um, over here. I have a little magnet sheet. I'm going to set them up over here so I can just grab them off when I'm ready. There's 3 of them in this bundle. And then this one. Probably this is the one I'm going to do because these are like old olive and mossy meadow. They're not in the paper collection, those colors, but this garden green is, and that will cut that out there, right there. So I'll set that aside too because we'll need to cut a few of those things. And then I don't think we're going to need anything else unless, you know what? I think I might do. How about we do this one? We'll do it in, I know what I'm going to do it in, that vellum. So something a little different. Don't know that we'll do much of any stamping today. I do have an idea to maybe do like winter. Um, but I don't want to fussy cut them out because I thought about winter is in the air. So we'll see what how I'm gonna do the title. All right, we'll get our other stuff prepped here in just a minute. I'm gonna use a basic white card base, card base layout, scrapbook page base. And then I've got my photos here. I've got one. Can y'all see all the ice that was there? Everything was covered in ice during that snowstorm, winter ice storm. It was more of an ice storm. So there was some snow. That was at the hotel, looking out our hotel window. We got really blessed and got a kind of like a suite that had a kitchen in it. And because it was five of us in that suite, I was trying to remember where Jeff and I slept. I remember, I guess it was two rooms. I can't really even remember now. Or maybe we just had all the kids sleeping in the living room and then Jeff and I in the bedroom. I think that's probably how it worked out. All right, so I'm going to trim this down and leaving like an eighth of an inch border around this. I am going to use a flip flap today. So if you're not familiar with flip flaps, let me know. I'm going to show you how to use them. I got to participate last night in what I call it, Creative Connections exclusive stamp night for new Stampin' Up demonstrators. They provide weekly training on our demonstrator Facebook group. And when you participate and follow and fill out their little questionnaire on at least four of the lives that they do, the trainings that they do for the quarter. So just four, it's three a month and an extra. You follow through with their little challenge or whatever they are teaching you to do, and then complete the survey, you get invited to an exclusive stamp night. And that happened last night. It was so cool. We got to see some sneak peeks of the new products that are coming. Good morning, Flo. Thanks for being here. And trying to remember Karen Pedersen, was from close to my heart, was there last night sharing some beautiful scrapbook pages using some of the new products. And then they did a mystery stamping project, which I have right over here. I was going to show you. So I decided to use the DSP that we're using all week, all the products that I'm using, so that not grow grain, but striped trim, iridescent striped trim. Yeah, right there with some of the Riverside Irregular Pearls. So these are the products I'm using throughout the week, but they told us to cut some DSP to 5.5 by 12 and then score it at a certain place. They told us to do a couple of circles. I used my stylish shapes dies to do two different sizes to make it kind of look like a mat around that one. Then this is using the Peaceful Evergreens stamp set and that Peaceful Season stamp set. And then it folds out like this. And look how it shows off that beautiful paper. So if you're looking for ways to use up some paper, this is a great way to do that. Okay, I didn't even tape this down. I just folded it, left it loose, wrapped some ribbon around it, and then adhered this right in the center with some dimensionals, hoping the season is bright and beautiful. So there's another card. I'm making a stash for my Christmas cards. So that's going to go in there. Then, is there anything else on that? The stamp night? I know they showed us some other stuff, but I can't remember right now. Karen took the show, I guess, with her scrapbook pages. Then, oh, Sarah, our CEO, she kicked off the night with us and showed us a brand new kit that's coming December 3rd, I believe. It's a perpetual calendar for the new year. So I guess you can put it together and then you have January through December where you can put in birthdays and anniversaries and special events like that. So that's what it was. All right, so I have my mat. I'm going to incorporate a photo plus my flip flap in here along with my journaling. I left my journaling on the printer paper so that I could show you how I do that. So I made two text boxes in my software program, my Word program. I use Pages, but you could use Word on PC. I use Pages on Mac. And so I printed it out. I spaced it out far enough so that I could then cut my cardstock to 3x4s. And then I just adhered them up at the very top with a little bit of tape, something that you can pop off pretty easily. I wouldn't use the Stampin' Seal, so some type of temporary glue maybe, or that just is easier to pop off. So I lined them up with the light. You can, when you line them up with the light, you can kind of see through the cardstock and position it in there. And then that's the only place I put the adhesive was up at the top right here. And then I put it in my printer this way and it came out and printed like that. And then all I have to do is pop these off. I can then use my adhesive remover if I want to get that adhesive off. Don't necessarily have to take that off, but I'll just show you that you can do that. So that's going to go in here in my flip flap, and then I'll go ahead and take this off too so it doesn't stick to. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be putting more, well, maybe. Trying to decide. I printed that other picture because my journaling ended up being longer, so I needed that flip flap. So I'll show you how to do all that. All right, so we've got, I'm going to kind of just scoot all this over onto here. We're going to move this to the side. Let's, we'll do our ink smooshing first because I kind of know what I'm going to do with that. I'm going to put it mostly over here on this end. And then once we get everything on all this other stuff on the page, we can figure out our clusters because I think I'm going to have two separate clusters right here. All right, this is just a piece of basic white 8.5 by 11, and I'm going to use smoky slate, and we're going to play around just a tiny bit first before I officially put it on this paper. So I'm going to grab a couple of scraps and move that out of the way because there's several ways that you can do this technique. Here's a couple of pieces that I have. I'm just going to look and see. That'll work. So when you get your product, oops, I don't need that. I need this. So you can have like a Ziploc bag just from your pantry or wherever you keep that. Or maybe all you have is something that some packaging from Stampin' Up. I'll just remove that cording out of there for the moment. This is a little bit thicker than this one. And then there's like direct to paper. So I'm gonna show you a couple of different ways to do this. And having a glass mat is fabulous for this. So I'm just going to stamp it on my glass mat. Now, if you have a other non-porous surface, we were using, this is what Close to My Heart had. It was a big sheet, all-purpose mat. This is the all-purpose mat, I think. The Versa mat is those black mats that I have. But since I have my glass mat here, I'm going to make sure I'm moving stuff away that might splatter. You need a little bit of like a water bottle of some kind. And then you're just going to spray a little bit of water there. And I'm going to take this packaging, just stick my hand in it, okay, and swish some ink around. Might even need a little bit more water. Actually, have not done this with Stampin' Up's ink. So, and then you can just kind of, oh, isn't that cool? That's like a marble effect. Okay. You could do your own DSP. I was about to say background and texture. That's what Close to My Heart called their papers, but DSP, Designer Series Paper. So I will probably save that for a card. All right. So see how it all kind of blended out a little bit here? It's smoothed out some as it's settled for a second. So let's try doing just, I'm going to take this strip and lay it in here. You can get some really cool looks here. You're just picking up the paper. I think I might have to join the Stampin' Up concept artist team now. Look how cool that is. I didn't even think it would do like the dots and stuff. It's almost like you water brushed it, but that turned out really, really neat. Okay, because it's a totally different look. Look at that. All right, we're going to do one more. Let's see here. I think I'm going to do a little bit more ink. I'm just going to set it there. I think it'll be fine. And I'm going to get it a little bit even more wet. Now I'm just using basic white cardstock. I guess you could use watercolor paper. I don't have any of that right now. I think this time though, this is clean. I don't have let me open up my chamois here. Just gonna make sure, see if I can get my water brush. And I'm gonna just move it around a little bit. Maybe do it more like a pattern. This is gonna be super easy to clean up when we're done. Okay, now I'm just gonna lay my paper in there like that and see what happens. It's gonna pick up that pattern. You can already tell. There's even something different. All right, so now I got to decide. It's not quite giving me the look. It's giving me a little bit different look than um, I might want on my page, but I think this is going to be better out of all of them. This one right here, and that was using that right there. So so I might can pick up a little bit more color and get a little bit different look. So anyways, there's some cool stuff right there that I'm going to save, put in my scrap pile. And I'm going to start over here so we can get the actual page done. So that was just a little technique time for you. Play with your inks. There's so many things you could do with them. And you can also use your reinkers if you have reinkers. Okay, need to get that dry. because I want to bring over that piece now, and we're just going to go with whatever we come up with. Let me make sure my, all right, so I'm going to move this over here. Actually, I'm going to wait till after I spray. I want it to go all the way down the side of the page. So I'm going to just make sure I have enough ink. Now, of course, you could do this with any color ink you want. Give it a good, nice wipe. Then I'm going to clean this up, just get close to it. We're going to let it sit for just a second to kind of smush together. And I can bring my cardstock back in here now. And again, I'm just going to go along this edge. So I'm going to use, okay, so I showed you that. I'm going to try this one. It's a little bit thinner, and we'll just see what it does. Okay, I'm going to try to get a bunch of ink. Let me go this way. I'll kind of squish it down in here like that. And then I can pick it up, and I'm just going to go like that. My pieces, I'm going to do the edge off over this way. Okay, that may be a little bit darker. Well, it's going to lighten up, it looks like. And if you put your hand in it, you kind of do something funky too with it. All right, I'm just going to leave it like that. I am going to put a little bit more up in here. All of this is going to be covered up, just FYI. I don't know. We'll see. I think it'll look fine. It'll just be a neat texture on the side. Let me clean this up. And let that dry. So think about what you could do if you don't, if all you had were inks, you didn't have any cardstock, you could do something similar to this. I guess I'll try to clean that up. Let me see. I might can reuse it. I'll put it over here out of the way. All right. Now let's bring all this back in here. And we have that paper. Let's cut a couple of those pieces out real quick. I think I can get it cut with this, with my smaller one. So let's see here. I'm gonna fussy cut out around. This is actually vellum. And this was, I was gonna say, was it part of that? I can grab it here in a minute and I'll find out what the name of this is. I can't remember. I really just want it over here with these couple of green pieces. Probably need 3 to 5 of the green pieces cut out. Just cut it right there. Okay. And I'm doing that just so I can, should mostly fit. Let me go around and do just the green, the garden green, because I can only get like 3.5 inches wide for these. There's 3 of those right there, 3. And then how about we just do like right up in here, maybe. Okay, I'll just do right around here for now, because I don't need any more than 5, if that. And I pulled out those Oh, and don't forget the little berries. I can cut those out. I'm going to pull all of those along with, let's see, what did everybody, he knows I love watching and creating with you. I'm so glad. Yep, the smooshing is fun. I'm going to put that one with that there and then get a couple of little smaller pieces. This is my Post-it tape I got off Amazon. You need a link. I'm happy to share one with you. And afterwards, just let me know. Okay, so let's do this one. That's going to fit in there. So we will have to run this through a few times. Oops, I think it goes this way. So it's vellum, so you can see it actually on both sides. Make sure, just need to figure out which side will line up right. So let me get this one on here best I can. And then I think not sure if I can sneak up in there with, I may have to do these after. So let's just run this through, see if we can get it to go through. Oh, if you've been watching me, I still am struggling some with, it went through just fine because when it has an irregular shape, it seems to work really well. If it has a round or straight edge, I can't get it to go through. All right, so there's one, two, let's see. And so this is garden green that's in this, these leaves, which are in the, try to keep that in place right there, which is in, I keep losing I've been putting it underneath for some reason. I don't know. And then also another trick is that you don't line these up the same. And this is just for the mini cut and emboss machine. There's just a couple of little tricks that you have to know. And I think there's a YouTube video you can find too. Okay, there's two of those. And see if I got that cut out. Not very well, but I'll leave it there. It shifted on me. I'm gonna try that one. Maybe I need a bigger piece of tape. I don't know. Just got to be careful. Let's just go ahead and try to get that particular one. If I get those little things cut out, great. If not, I'm not going to worry too much about it. I think I did good on that one. So you can see the other one was off center. It jumped on me. All right, so I can save this because I could cut that out too later for another project. But let's try to get a couple of more. Oops, I'm on the wrong side again. And just position it on there so I think it'll go through like that. I'm still sitting here thinking about what Robert said, Debbie, and I was like, hey, you're lucky that he calls you each day. It's like, hey, Jeff. Yeah. I tell Jeff, don't you dare call me at 10 o'clock between 10 and 12 on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, because I won't be able to answer you because I'll be live. Uh, But he has been like texting me. I didn't even think to look and see if I'm gonna look real quick. I probably don't even have my work focus on. That keeps everybody else from all the other notifications from coming through. But if Jeff or Bevan were to text me, I think I would get their message. Okay, there's another one of those. So maybe if I just have three of those, possibly. And I'll probably come up with a pretty easy title of some kind. I was looking at my list that I shared with y'all on Monday. There's some good titles in there, but I didn't really make time today or last night to prepare a good title. And I think if I were to use those alphabet letters, I would have to fussy cut them out. Okay, I'm going to do one more and then we will call it done on these. And I'm not gonna, I got three of those, so I think I'm good. There's my plate again. I do love how the dies cut out the DSP. So even if you weren't like a big stamper, you can get just the dies and the DSP for some of these collections. All right, I think I'm done with all of that. Now I do want to cut a couple of these out of this vellum paper. I used this on Monday. I'm just gonna just to hold that on there. And I like this because it just kind of is icy and wintry looking. And I chose the other image, so you take these and there we go, stick them inside over here. See if it actually cut it out good enough. I don't know that it did that time. Bummer. See here. Let me see if possibly, I don't know if I can get it laid on here. I'm probably not even going to try. This piece is going to have to be, let's switch out this one with my big one to get this out. That might be part of the problem. Move these, put them, that's going to be so pretty. So I don't even have to, that way I don't have to cut the paper and then do the die cutting. So paper was a little bit big. And I think it will cut a little bit better on here. Is that vellum is so much thinner. I'm going to go over twice, maybe three times, just to make sure it cuts it. And I only need two of these. Look at how pretty those are. Look at that. So pretty. I love this vellum paper. Look at all these little pieces off here. If you leave scraps of paper on your plates, it'll actually emboss any paper you put over top of them when you run them through here. So just FYI, clean off those if you don't want that look. All right, so that's all I need. just the two of those. I only did it through once, and that may, let me see, I think it's going to come out. Yeah, it worked fine. There's another one. Okay, we're done with that. And now we can just start assembling. So my story I shared earlier while I was trimming all these, I didn't even get them all done. There's one that I missed. Let me get that one. I was just dovetailing all these little, these are 1/2 inch by 6 inch pieces. And so my story for this week is about our winter storm that we had in February of 21. That was probably the worst in Texas history, or one of the worst. It lasted like 9 days or more. All right, there may be a couple more. I don't know. I thought I got them all. All right, so let's see how I like this look. Let me show you the sample that I'm following. This was the smooshing that I did here. It was a little softer looking. And honestly, I can't remember exactly how I did it. But I think with all these pieces, let me get, because these are all it's going to be the base. I think and I hope that it'll look fine back behind there once we get all these pieces kind of on here. So this side will remain white, but this side will be, and really I just got to throw these up on here. I think that's the only pattern that I was going to use is this one. Let me take all these. I'm using both sides of this. So some is the pattern and the other is like the blueberry bushel, I want to say is the color. So 1, 2, 3, I'm trying to get maybe 5 of those down in here. Okay, and then I brought in this other paper, decided I didn't want to use that pattern though in here. Though I ended up finding, does anybody know what these little berries are? I'm gonna throw a couple of these. This is like the shaded spruce, I think. Yeah, it might be more like the Lost Lagoon. Not even sure. There's one there, there, and there. Maybe do it here. I have a few, so we'll see. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. And then where can I put in? This is the shaded spruce. And this is garden green. So I want to kind of trying to decide. I might start it with, actually, I think I'll do it this way. I'm going to start it with some of that pattern paper. And then I just need to squeeze in a little bit of this. So I've got shaded spruce, garden green, the blueberry bushel, I think is what it is. So we need some of this down here. I think I'm gonna stop it with the blue. And just kind of once I have where I want everything, then I will gotta throw some in here somewhere. I will adhere it all down. And let me kind of see where I think I want this piece. It probably needs to be right in here somewhere. All right, I think that's gonna work. Got a little bit of, feel like I might need um this broken up a little bit more, so maybe like right there. And maybe this up a little bit higher, or maybe not so much of the blue. I guess that'll be fine. A lot of this is going to be covered up by this over here. All right, so let's just make this fairly simple. I'm going to put a little adhesive and start here at the top. And I am just going to start about, maybe that's 3/4 of an inch. I'm gonna have to turn my page so I can get this first one started straight. Make sure it's right up. Okay, so I think that'll get me started. Then I also want to put down my page. I'm just gonna do it straight to, this is gonna help hold down my page a little bit, so it's not moving around all over the place. And I'm not even trying to center it so much. Okay, there we go. Now we can get busy. And we're gonna alternate just about 1/4 of an inch back and forth, back and forth. So I just tried to bring in colors that were in this DSP pattern. I'm just trying to look and see, is like that even straight? I feel like I didn't get that one up. Just make sure you're butting them right up against each other, right like that. Okay. And then just kind of alternate back and forth, back and forth. All right, you have to let me know what your name is. Is it, I've got Stimplestein? Thank you for saying hello. And they don't have to be exact like right here. Can do it back and forth a little bit. So I'm not trying to measure anything particularly. I'm just kind of eyeballing. And it's just going to be kind of random. That, I think that's what the color is, blueberry bushel. It is bright, it's pretty. I don't have any of the ink, and I might have a little bit of cardstock like in 12 by 12. Put that over there. So this is a great way to use up if you have any 6 by 6 designer series papers, pattern papers. But you can just take your 12 by 12s and cut it into fourths, and you get 4 6 by 6 pieces that you can use just like your 6 by 6 like paper pads or whatever. We have 6 by 6 papers as well. We have a really cute Christmas one right now. Debbie, I think that's what I made those Christmas cards out of. I want it, I think. And when you get the 6 by 6 paper packs from Stampin' Up, you get 48 sheets. You can do so much, so perfect especially for card making, Christmas card making. All right. So I wasn't sure about this at first, but once I kind of knew that once I laid the paper down, I thought I would like it, and I'm liking it better now that it's kind of dried and calmed down a little bit. And then I'm covering this up just a tiny bit. And it's just, for me, it's giving that effect of the crazy ice storm feel that we had, but then also, there was a beauty in it. Got some really neat pictures. I know I've scrapbooked about it some already, but not just I don't think in the 8.5 by 11 format. And then I like the contrast from that bright blue with the gray, the slate, smoky slate is that color. All right, we're just about done here. I think I had to have 21 pieces at 1/2 inch to get all the way down the page. Okay, that one I'm gonna save because no, I wanted the blue at the bottom, I think is what I said. All right, so we're good there, I think. Yeah. Okay, and it's going to, I'm just gonna let these overlap just a little bit down here, so I don't have to trim it off. Think it'll be okay. So I must have had a few that were a little more than 1/2 inch. It's not going to be that noticeable. And next, we are going to adhere this. So that's going to bring in that gray some. I'm going to use, before I do that, I'm going to put some of these on here. I think I'm going to put my this photo underneath. And then I will do, let's see, the winter storm that hit in February. This is the first part. This is the second part. And when you're using your flip flaps, so these are page protectors that have an adhesive on the back here. It's got a strip. You fold it under, and then it will adhere to the page, and then it'll flip up. That's why it's called a flip flap. And you can put photos or journaling, whatever you want in here. Today, I'm going to be doing journaling. So, but you could do journaling, a photo, and then journaling. Switch it up however you like. Then when you flip it up, you want this one to be upside down. So I'm taking it right here and just flipping it upside down. I'm going to hold those together and then slide them inside the little pocket here. I like to adhere mine straight to my page, and then I end up cutting a slit in my main page protector to feed this through. So it's on the outside, the adhesive part's on the inside, but this part's so it'll protect any pictures or journaling. Okay, I'll show you how mine works, this other one does in a second. But here, I'm going to go ahead and adhere. This is a 3x3 photo. I actually did it 2 3/4 inches, and then I cut it at 3x3, so I have that white border. And I'm going to put it centered up at the top because that's my focal photo. And then this one, first I want to adhere this to the back of the photo. So this is how I like to do it. I'm going to put some adhesive just right there at the top on the back. So there's adhesive right here. And then I can line, before I touch anything, I'm going to line this up with this, just so I can't really even see anything behind there. Okay. So now it's pretty straight. And then I can fold this over and it is attached now to my photo. Okay. And then from here, I can put some more adhesive right on the back of my photo, and then I can peel off this backing. And now I can lay it down. I can position it straight. It's going to be pretty close to that photo up there, because I'm just trying to get the same width all the way around here. So now you have your mat that has these two, all this on it. Okay. So now we're going to flip this over. I didn't get that taped down apparently very good. Let me redo that. And then I'm going to put some foam tape. That's about 3¼ inches. I'm just going to kind of need several to go down the page. And show you how I like to do this. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. And then some right in here. If you need to, you could do it across this way. Could put even more. I think this will be enough for me. And I flip it down, and that's going to hold it up good enough for me. And then we can just pull those off. Petra, that's very pretty. Thank you for sharing that with me. Where are you located, Petra? All right, so this one, I'm just going to center it, I believe. I'm kind of looking at my, yeah. So kind of right about there. Let's see here. Bevan just messaged me. Told you I just get messages from Bevan and all right, I'll get back with her on that. Okay, so now we are going to figure out our clusters here. They're going to be kind of like up in here. I got to kind of see how all this is going to fit. May have to cut some things down because I've got that adhesive there because I want them kind of out like this. I'm going to lay it on here like this first, and then we'll trim anything we need. Cluster up here. Let me get back to my screen so I can see, I can look down. That's what I like about this live too. I don't have to stand up and look. I'm just going to lay it here for the moment. And see what other, I've got some ribbon I may want to use. Got that bow I tried to make. I don't have any. I think what I might need is, um, let me look for my stylish shapes. I truly cleaned up my space over here, but it already doesn't look like I did. Okay, there am I. I was looking for a place I could put my stylish shapes somewhere handy because I use them so much instead of putting them back on my calyx with all the other stuff. But I've already got a pile of everything over here again. Oh, great. And she's talking to me about the FAFSA. Germany. She's blowing up my phone. She's not supposed to have her phone in school, but maybe it's her lunchtime already. I don't know. All right, so let's see what I can use from this to put my title or some words to for my clusters. So I might need something kind of maybe even smaller than that, like sticking out over here where this kind of like that idea. Doesn't have to be a circle necessarily up here, but it could be. If I had some snowflakes, I would use those totally, but I don't have any snowflakes. All right, let's see what we can make work with some of the words and things that I have. So I don't think I'm going to do anything with that. I just thought of something. I don't think I want to do that though. So bear with me as I think through this a little bit. W. I wish I had like little winter. So that would fit just perfectly in there. I could print out winter is, or just enter, INTER, make it smaller right there, like a strip. And then down here is in the air. I could put that somewhere. I don't have any, like I said, I don't think I have any snowflakes, not in these particular. That there's the other, let me look at the other with the trees. No, no snowflakes, just little trees. I didn't really want to use this today. There's a star. All right, so I think I am going to do something with this and so this. I don't know about the circle right there. I might could do something similar to this, peace and joy. So let's cut out a couple of things. I'm gonna see if I can not lose these. I don't know if I'll even use those little pieces. And this one, maybe not. All right, and we'll get this done. I'm gonna pull out my big machine one more time and cut a couple of pieces. But I think I'm just gonna hide that in there to protect it primarily. And then I gotta find a couple of pieces of scraps of white. There's a good one, I think, right there. I can get what I need out of it. So I want, oops, you know what I do need? Those, oh my goodness, just a second. I need my circles. Okay. Y'all can see the chaos. Don't y'all just love the chaos of creating with me? I think I've got all my pieces here. Okay, so that one, this one, I'm gonna cut that. And I think I might even do this little one. Not sure. Maybe just I don't think I even need the date, so but I might need two of those longer ones. I'm going to go ahead and cut another one just to have it. I need to spend an afternoon just cutting a bunch of these, but then I got to figure out how to store them. I know a lot of ladies have little trays where they have all these pre-cut, like a bunch of them, and then they can just grab them whenever they need them. I think my problem is though, then when I need them, I don't know where they're at. So I need to organize this space over here a little bit better. And then I could also just, well, I'm trying to do better at thinking through my projects for the week. It's still not working really well to get like everything prepped ahead of time. I would love to have my projects like completely figured out. Okay, I think that's all I'm gonna need prior to Monday of every week. That's my ultimate goal. I'm hoping by the first of the year that I will finally be able to do that. But, you know, inspiration doesn't always strike that way. Creativity and okay, so now I have all these pieces. I am going to put the W up here. And I think I am just going to do winter is in the air. Let me look at my, here is my, there's Winter Wonderland. I used a winter's tale, wrapped in winter's embrace, winter reflections. I like that too. The only thing with using these is that then I can't stamp that as in the air. So I think I'll whispers of winter, the magic of winter. There's so many good ones in here, but to be able to use some of the stamps, I think I will just, let me see which one is. I'm looking for winter is in the air. It's probably right in my face and I can't see. I guess that was it. No, that's in your heart. It's so hard to read these upside down. There it is. Okay, right there. Winter is in the air. I used that for one of my titles using the Season of Elegance scrapbook workshop. And then what color of, I guess I will just stick with the, if I do that, the only thing I have to figure out is I'm going to pull up my word processing program. I'm going to stamp that in there for sure. And stamp that there. It's just these final little details that are going to take a few minutes. So we'll do the W in, I'm doing it in the smoky slate. Okay, so that can go up here. And what I wish I had, totally do it, but oh, it would be such a pain. I could never do that. If you could use these letters right here, you could get the INTER for winter, but I think I would have to like cut it apart and stamp them individually, and then I probably still couldn't get them straight. So we are not doing that, but I am, and I might do this off camera because I think I'm going to have to look for, let me type this in and see what it looks like. Winter. That looks pretty good right there, actually. That font, which is Sticks to Math. Um, Give me a second. I'm going to see about, let's see, line spacing. I wish there was, I don't think there is like a word on this. I'm sure there's character spacing. Now, y'all can't see what I'm doing exactly, but give me just 1 second and I'm going to get as close as I can to the color. Oops, that didn't work. Slate, that smoky slate. Maybe that'll work. I'm going to print it out on printer paper so we can look at it and see. Might could be a little bit darker than that, but let's get the rest of this done. And I still have stamps on my blocks from last night. Oh, and it's been a busy week. It has been a really busy week with Stampin' Up. I had a team meeting that I did a project with. Sorry, that's so loud in the background. I did a mystery stamping project Monday night for my Uplines team meeting. I was in charge of the mystery stamping project, and you can get that free template in my newsletter. So if you're signed up, you should have gotten an email yesterday. And then if you're not signed up, there's a link down in the description. So let me show you what I'm doing. I think I'm just going to do that. And I wonder if I think it'll fit on here. And it can be coming out from behind there like that. So this is how I'm just going to tack this on here. I think I'm going to have to trim scissors. So I want it toward the end over here. So I'm going to cut off that portion right there because it can come out from here. I'm just I'm going to tack it down. I'm going to pull it up to my light and see if I'm not even straight. I'm not even close. Y'all can't see what I'm doing exactly, but I can see that through there. Okay, so I've got it on my paper like this. I'm going to see if I can run this through my printer one more time. That'll finish off my title. We'll add maybe a ribbon here or there, and then some of those iridescent or irregular pearls, and we'll be done. All right, I think that makes it, don't you think? Oh, I still gotta like tack all that down real quick though. All right, let me get that printed out. Hope I stuck it in there correctly. I don't know if there's anything I can do to really, yeah, I think I have an image so I think I'll just kind of bring this out from underneath here too. So let's just get this stuff down. So these I think will be, should I put these? So I'm trying to decide if I should put them in the front or the back. Maybe I'll do them on the back this time, poking out, and most of this will be on the top. Let's do that. All right, so put a little bit, and I'm gonna put glue like just a couple of dots, and I may have to trim off. I probably do have to trim off a little bit of this. I'm gonna trim off the stem. I'll cut off more if I need to. We'll do this one right here. Okay, and then this one, I think I might have to cut a little bit more off. So just kind of like that. I may have to do more. It's like can't let it go off the page there. So just keep trimming. There we go. Just kind of squish it down so the ink spreads out and then you can't even see the ink. The glue. All right, I don't think that printed for me yet. There we go. And then this one, same thing. It's gonna have, you can kind of set it here like this. So I need to cut off. I may, when I cut it off right here, it's gonna go in several pieces, I think. Nope, it's all gonna stay together. Good. I didn't think about that. And then a couple of pieces of glue. And then tuck that up under there. Gonna have to cut off more, possibly. I'm gonna come up here. I'm gonna go up this way. Cut that off like that. I think I'm gonna set it here, and I think I'm just going to like trim off this little piece. You won't even be able, I don't think you'll even notice that it's to be there. I'm trying to decide if I want to make it come out from under that. I think I want it to go out from underneath like that. Yeah, we're just gonna trim that off. Some glue. I can either go, not gonna do that. I'm gonna go right here. On side about right there. I think that'll work. Okay, I think that's straight. And I'll just do this up here. Kind of the same thing. That'll go on the top. There's a piece of something over there. And I want this right about there. So we'll cut kind of the same. I'm gonna cut that piece off. Okay, like that. I think that'll work. Okay, then this I'm gonna use the actual foam tape that I used instead of a dimensional just because it's the same height. Whoops, I dropped it on the floor. Because this is raised up, so this has got to be raised up. So I'm going to put it right up here in this corner. And just overlap this a little bit. I want it up high enough so that when I grab this, yay, it worked. Look. And it's pretty much the same font. And let me see where. See, just like that. Okay, so a little bit of, let me see, it's how much. So maybe I'll take this and I'm gonna cut a sliver off that. And then I just want it on the top of that. Guess y'all can see me over here. I think that works. It was pretty close in color. Winter is in the air. All right, awesome. That'll work. Keep it simple with the title, and then I don't even know if I need any of this anywhere, if it would work anywhere. I was looking at my other sample. I don't think I had any type of ribbon on my sample. No. Let me kind of look, and I'll make a simple little bow and let's just see if it'll look pretty on here. Just don't know if I need it. Not really. No, that might be pretty right up there. Let's see here. I'm gonna cut some off. I think I need to go a little sharper with that. There we go. What do you think? Right in there. And then I might can even, I did this the other day. I put it down here somewhere, like underneath. I think I might do that. Let me do. I'm gonna hold it in place like that. And then I may see if I can tuck it up under here. Not sure if I can. I gotta have a way to adhere it. Let me put a glue dot. Just these last little extras, gotta have them sometimes. And that's part of my challenge to myself sometimes too, is just to, I may trim that down a little bit, but is to use the products throughout the whole week. Okay, can trim that down a little bit. I think I am going to just adds a little of that down here as well. Saw that I had a glue dot right there on the end. This is a brand new one. All right, let's just do right there. Okay, I guess we'll do these little bit darker ones. I'm almost out of the pearl, the white ones. You could use those, yeah, those are more like Gloss Lagoon. I am trying to make sure I'm getting the same color. Okay, and a couple up here. Maybe over here. All right, we're gonna call it done. Yes, I ended up liking my mixed media here. Wasn't sure about that at first, but I think it'll work. And I might do a little one right up in here somewhere. Let's just hide it in there. And same thing down over here. Can kind of help hold that down. All right, there we have the Winter Meadow 8.5 by 11 scrapbook page featuring split flap, some ink smooshing. Get your fingers a little messy in there. Do you want some Winkostella? I do not have any of that yet. I think it's similar to Close to My Heart's clear shimmer brushes, but not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But I will be getting some with my product credit. I'm going to put a couple of these since I did these that I'm going to be getting with my artisan design team compensation, I guess. I'm going to get a nice little product credit to buy some of the things that I need, like a Stampin' Up paper trimmer, blocks. I'm just going to put that right there. There, I used them. All right, so thanks for joining me. I didn't look over to see who else was joining. I see Christine. Thank you so much. Thank you, Petra and Flo and Debbie. I hope y'all have a wonderful Wednesday and Thursday. I hope you join me on Friday for Feel Good Friday, where I'll be creating more fun fold cards for you using this collection of products. There's one I made last night. I'll share that one, but I'll probably do two different fun folds on Friday. This was one we created during our Creative Connections exclusive stamp night for new Stampin' Up demonstrators that I was invited to because I completed some training that they shared on the website, on the Facebook group. So that was lots of fun last night. All right, y'all have a great day. Thank you so much. I'm going to wrap it up because I am getting hungry. Goodbye.